July 12th, 2015. Welcome to Faces and Aces Las Vegas, a podcast where we share great Vegas stories and discuss tips and tricks on how to make your next Vegas trip a better experience. This episode in the Faces segment, Amy tells us what it's like to be a female bartender in Las Vegas. In the Aces segment, Aaron talks about his love for the Encore at the Wynn, and we discuss whether or not the M Resort Spa Casino deserves an ace. In the Tip the Player segment, Kate gives us some great etiquette tips about how to behave at a Las Vegas day spa. Our website is facesandacesLV.com. Our email address is contact@facesandacesLV.com, and our phone number is 702-381-3657. Baby needs a new pair of shoes. Rolling. Welcome to Faces and Aces Las Vegas. We're in the studio with
Katie.
And I'm Aaron.
and I'm Chris.
And I'm glad everyone is not from the South anymore.
We've done a couple takes of this where Chris just wants to say howdy, y'all.
I don't know why. I just feel very Southern today.
We're not doing any more takes.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I like hanging out over in the South Las Vegas more than North Las Vegas. How's that for transition back to Vegas talk?
That was very interesting.
How was your week?
It was very dirty.
Very eventful week.
I know what kind of week you had. I'm not even going to go into it.
Well, I think now the I was going to say viewers, the listeners will want to know. But Aaron and I had a very interesting week.
We had some flooding. We're cleaning that up. All good and fun.
Yeah.
But we're still here the next week bringing you the news and the facts about the Faces and Aces of Vegas.
It's been a little bit since we've sat down to do a podcast. And so far, every episode, it seems like we've gone to Las Vegas in between each episode because there's a little bit of a space in between each episode. That streak stays alive. Aaron, you went to Las Vegas.
You know, at least someone here is making the commitment. And I just recently went. And I know, Chris, you're dying to ask me about the status of the Alien Beef Jerky Hotel. I know you just can't wait.
Okay, that's a good place to start.
Keep your hat on, I'll tell you.
We got to play this to lead into it. Little Alien update.
Here's the update. Nothing.
Oh, and also, just as a point of reference, the Alien Hotel that Aaron was talking about is an alien hotel that is being built out in the middle of the desert in California. The people who drive from LA to Las Vegas will drive by it somewhere off of the 15 freeway.
And they will drive by it indeed. I do not think anyone will be staying and stopping at the hotel, especially if it's not built yet.
Yeah, we brought it up as a news story in episode 2, so if you want to go back and listen to that or check out the show notes, we'll have a link to that.
I think they need to hurry up because X-Files, the new 6 episodes are coming out January 26th, 2016.
They are. And are you caught up on all the episodes, Katie? I know
listeners,
you're watching
let me just let you know, this is totally un-Las Vegas related, but I am rewatching all 9 seasons of X-Files. But let me just say, it's really interesting to watch it because it makes me want to stay in the Alien Hotel a little bit more.
All right.
But yeah, people watch X-Files.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's the point of the whole story. Get back, watch X-Files.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, thank you for the alien beef jerky that you brought me from there.
Yes, and it's not alien beef. Well, it's just
alien beef.
Is that why it's green?
It has a gooey texture to it.
Yeah.
So I
like
got
their
you
beef jerky.
Yeah, they have some good beef jerky. They have a 3 for the price of a little less than 3 deal. So you save $1 or so. So I bought 3.
And beef jerky is one of my favorite road trip snacks. So.
It is. Yeah. This episode brought to you by Alien Fresh Beef Jerky. I do want to find out.
We're totally going off.
Oh, yeah, we totally. Okay, let's stay on focus. Let's stay on track. Okay, so you went to Vegas on the 4th of July. Where did you stay?
So, like I typically do, I was there for 2 days and I did 2 different hotels. I like to be somewhat of a nomad on vacation.
Really? Do you always stay at 2 hotels? Or do you
No, because I typically travel with my wife.
Okay.
But
That's me.
That's her.
I think the listener at home likes to know Aaron, when going on vacation, likes the finer things. He likes to treat himself to typically a 5-star luxury hotel when he goes to Vegas.
Who doesn't?
Just because you've earned it. You work hard. You want to treat yourself a little bit on vacation. You get the nicer place. So for you to get stuck at the Tropicana is pretty funny.
It really is, and it was an experience. So I chose the 4-star property, but I got the new Tropicana. So they went under a renovation.
Yeah.
And they redid their lobby. They redid their rooms. It wasn't awful, but it was kind of like they just did a quick, wallpaper job.
We'll get back to, or we'll hear a little bit more about your trip a little bit later, because I want to find out if on this trip, because you not only stayed at the Tropicana, you also stayed at the Wynn.
I stayed at the Encore, actually.
The Wynn Encore.
What an upgrade, right?
I upped it by a star. I upped my hotels by a star rating for the second night.
Yeah. And you probably have a few aces you want to add to the aces segment of our show.
I do have...
Is Mr. Wynn a vegan?
I do have some aces, and I didn't get anyone to say Mr. Wynn is a vegan. I don't know what's happening to the world now.
So we'll get over to that a little bit later when we get into aces. One last thing that I want to bring up, something that we did early days of the podcast, which was just a little fun thing. And Aaron, on occasion, would say something. For example, last episode, we lost a couple of interviews because
we aren't actually losing them.
We can no longer approach these people for interviews because of things that Aaron said on the last episode of this show.
My real opinions.
So I brought this back just to punctuate problems that we may have in the future with Aaron.
You done messed up, Aaron!
And we will use that, I think, kind of liberally throughout the show. So, and that's from
Key and Peele.
That is from Key
Comedy
and Peele.
Central. Awesome, very talented individuals.
So, Katie, what do you think we go into the news?
All right, let's do it. So epic. First story of the night. A girl is waiting for a heart transplant, and she gets a special surprise by some Las Vegas locals.
I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world.
So bringmethenews.com reported on a 7-year-old Ireland Larson who is waiting for a new heart in the Lurie Children's Hospital in Chicago. When she heard that Imagine Dragons would be making a stop in Chicago, she made a video.
Hi, Imagine Dragons. I'm Ireland. I'm 7 years old. And my mom told me that you were coming to Chicago for a concert. And I was wondering if I could go. I have to stay in the hospital because I'm waiting for a new heart. So I was wondering if you guys could come because I really, really, really want to see you guys. Because you're my favorite band, and when I grow up, I want to be a world famous singer just like you. So that's why I want you to come, and I can give you $5 and some candy for seeing me, and that's it.
It's kind of sweet. Okay, so the Las Vegas band surprised Ireland by stopping by the hospital. Each band member brought $5 and a bag of candy for her. And they talked about princesses and watched Frozen, and they just hung out. And we will also provide that link on some more additional ways to donate to Ireland's medical fund.
Yeah, she's awaiting a heart. And oh my God, that story, when I heard it, I just thought, okay, Imagine Dragons are my new hero.
So sweet. So sweet. Let's move on to fighting zombies alongside the elite special ops. I would have preferred the Walking Dead song.
That's so predictable. Okay, hold on. I knew you were going to ask for it.
It makes my heart sing, okay? I have this as a ringtone. This and X-Files are my ringtones. Okay?
Of course, I prepped that for you, Katie.
Thank you.
Of course, I
Thank
did.
you. The source is the Las Vegas Review Journal and me, because I sent this to Chris as well. I found this one. Adventure Combat Ops is a new Las Vegas attraction being billed as the most realistic apocalyptic combat simulation in the world. It's a 2-hour immersion where you hunt down the bad guys who are hiding somewhere amongst the 77,000 square foot cityscape that includes 13 furnished homes. Armed with airsoft pellet guns, goggles, radio headsets, you are led by a actual former military personnel. And oh yeah, there's a $250,000 worth of special effects, lasers, and audio chaos and zombies. Packages start at $199. I am so down.
That sounds so amazing.
So down.
Well, I know that with every good zombie apocalypse comes lots of lasers.
Can we do this for my birthday?
Should we go in October and just do this for Halloween?
That's Aaron's birthday.
Do they-
I hijack Aaron's birthday all the time because I love Halloween. I'm extremely booked for the month of October.
Are you?
Because of all the Halloween happenings in our hometown of Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
But I am a huge fan of Walking Dead, comic book and show.
Yep.
I'm a huge fan of everything zombie.
Me too.
And,
Me too. Well, the show anyway.
Aaron
not
and
so
I
much
actually
zombie.
did something like this, not at this scale. We did an infected tour. I did it a couple times actually last year.
What is that?
She was infected a couple times.
It's a
last year.
it's actually just laser tag, but it's not laser tag. A normal laser tag. It's with zombies and it's an entire story. So,
Oh, is that where they put the what do you call it? The glow in the dark dye on the zombies' hands, and then
you
that
have to.
way-
No, they're only headshots only.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it is beyond fun. It is like the most fun adrenaline rush you can have. So I can't even imagine this. This is going to be epic.
Oh, well, okay. Here's something else that's cool about this. You said the packages start at $199.
Yeah.
It's a 2-hour experience. That's not bad. Like, I know
not-
it sounds
I'm
a little
down.
steep, but
No, it's not.
$100 an
2
hour
hours?
for
Yeah.
entertainment.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
I
so
I mean,
down.
I could lose that at a table pretty quick.
I am
Seriously.
so down for this. I just like how it's so realistic where you go through all these houses and things like that because
Yeah.
that's why I love the show. The show
Yeah.
is all about like, understanding how to clear a house, how to get supplies. It's about survival. So
Yeah.
I really like that.
What do you mean realistic? What zombie apocalypse are we comparing this to that's happened? I would, but we don't know what a real zombie apocalypse would be like.
well, I mean, the cool thing about this is that it is now open. I was taking a look at their website earlier today. They're booked for the rest of July. They have no
Wow.
openings for the rest of July. August, it starts to open up a little bit.
It's a good bachelor party.
It is.
event
I bet I
too.
could get in.
And I'm thinking if you do want to do this for October, book now.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea. They're
Yeah.
going to be so packed through the beginning and probably a little bit past the end of October.
Yeah.
October's
I'd
a very
say
popular
this is a
zombie
good
month.
Thanksgiving event.
No, it's great. It's just an awesome event. Like whoever came up with this idea
Aaron's
is
face.
brilliant. And when we go talk to them, I want to talk to the guys who work there. I want to talk to the guys who get put in makeup and dress up like zombies. Who would take that job? Not in a mean way, but it's like, come on, you're getting shot every day. That's your job. That's gotta hurt. Just one little pellet in the wrong place. Like, I don't know how much padding they give them, but I'm dying to know. I'm dying to know all about being a zombie.
I think the more senior people get all the padding,
The newbies don't get
the
padding.
newbies don't get
Yeah.
the padding. They have to earn that.
All right, well, let's move on. Dive-in movies at the Boulevard Pool.
Let's all go to lobby to get ourselves a treat.
How cute. According to Las Vegas Weekly, the 5th season of Dive-In movies at the Cosmopolitan are underway. That's actually a really nice venue.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Every
pool
Monday
there.
night, all summer, the marquee at the Boulevard Pool transforms into a colossal movie screen where you can sit poolside and take in a double feature. The cost is $5 per person or complimentary to all hotel guests. The first film starts 7 p.m. and the second starts at 9. So some upcoming screenings. Tomorrow they're doing The Fantastic Mr. Fox and The Grand Budapest Hotel. Yay, Wes Anderson double feature.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
July 27th, they're doing Agent Cody Banks and Mission Impossible, 2 very different movies.
Both spy thrillers.
And then August 17th, Clueless and Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's a girl night.
Yeah, it's
for
cute,
sure.
right? Like, I like the way they do the double features. They do like one that's kiddish.
They should have consulted me. I'm really good at meshing movies together.
Me too.
Well, that's all the single men. That's the day to go to. All the ladies will be at that screening. Don't you think?
That's a good point. August 17th.
That's what I thought.
The Cosmopolitan.
I mean, I'm married, but that's what the single Aaron thought. The single Aaron who's slowly dying inside.
No,
I love
you
it.
got. What was the joke we heard today? You got the engagement ring for me, the wedding ring, and now you have the suffering.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a funny joke.
The 3 rings of marriage.
Three rings.
Yeah.
All right, moving along. Las Vegas secret hotels add mystique to the Strip. Okay, so the source is the Detroit Free Press. If staying at a 5-star resort isn't glamorous for you, or if you just want to pay a little extra for some peace and quiet, you can book a room at a secret hotel on the Strip. Hotel 32, Skylofts, Nobu, and the Four Seasons can be found at the Monte Carlo, MGM Grand, Caesars, and Mandalay Bay, respectively. Benefits usually include private entrances, private elevators, shorter check-in lines, upscale service. All rooms come with a free jar of Grey Poupon, according to Chris.
We got to go to our resident expert of the secret hotel. Aaron, you've stayed at a couple of these quote-unquote secret hotels.
I think I've been referred to as the senior secret hotel correspondent.
Yeah, and?
Officially.
And?
Yes, I've stayed at a few of these secret hotels, if you will, and a lot of them are some of my favorites.
Right? They sound good. I mean, how much more expensive are they than staying at the regular hotel?
It really depends. One thing to really keep in mind with secret hotels is even if you're at a hotel within a hotel, you still have to deal with the main hotel. But Four Seasons is one of my favorite hotels in Las Vegas on the Strip.
You know, one of the things that you did say last episode was by staying at the Signature, which is another secret hotel that they didn't bring up. You got to stay at the MGM Grand. Is that right?
The Signatures.
Well, yeah. So the Signature, it's a hotel behind the MGM Grand in the former theme park property of MGM Grand.
Yeah.
And you get all the amenities of the MGM property, but you get good service. And that's the same thing with Skylofts. Skylofts is actually an MGM Grand as well.
Yeah.
And Skylofts are ridiculously expensive sky lofts.
Yeah.
And the service there is even better.
Well, what I was getting at is by staying there at the MGM Grand, you also got to use the MGM Grand pool, and also you had access to
the Signature pool.
The Signature pool. So
yeah.
it's a double whammy. If you're a pool person, pay the little bit extra money, stay at the Signature, and get the use of both. And I do like the idea of what the person, who was the author of this article, who the woman was saying about you get your own private entrances, private elevators. You get to be separated from the crowds a little bit more. Did you find that to be true?
Yeah, there's definitely more of a buffer. It's not really private. There's still a lot of people, but it's when you get to some of these hotels that are so ginormous.
Yeah.
It sometimes becomes like Disneyland on the busy day, or...
Well, when we were there a few weeks back and when I drove up to the Four Seasons, that was a very pleasant check-in experience. There was almost nobody in line. Was it because of the time that we went, or is it...
No, that's how the Four Seasons is.
Yeah.
They overstaff.
Yeah.
And they they have extra elevators. They have people that... are hiding, and when they see that you need something, they kind of come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
It's a hotel that focuses really on experience. So,
well, you paid less than I did, and I got to stay at Planet Hollywood, and you got to stay at Four Seasons.
I find that to be always true based on our experience.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. Well, okay. We'll let that go, and we'll let that go. No, you're right for the most part. I was going to throw an Airbnb, but
Airbnb was a good deal.
We came that close to doing it again next weekend because Jenny and I are going, or this coming weekend, Jenny and I are going to Vegas.
Okay, so you guys are going.
Yeah, and we're taking the dog.
We're going to trying the new dog. What's it called? A dog school?
We are going to stop by the Hydrant Club.
Yeah,
we're going to stop by there, but mostly we're going because in all of this is like, well, let's close this out real quick. Katie, can you close out the news?
Sure. And that's what happened in Vegas.
This week in the Faces segment, we reach a milestone for the podcast. We talk to our first full-blooded Las Vegas local. Amy is not just born and raised in Las Vegas. She's not just a bartender at a Las Vegas hotel and casino. She is one of the nicest people that I've met in recent memory. She's funny, she's a little silly, and she knows what you're going to order before you get to the bar. Hi, buddy. We talk a little bit about how she got started tending bar and what it's like being a female bartender in Las Vegas. Please excuse the background noise that you hear here, and also excuse the background noise that you're going to hear in the interview. Amy and I recorded at the Starbucks over at the Link Promenade. That was the best place that was available to us at the time. Enjoy the interview.
I was born and raised in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I've been here majority of my life. I lived in LA for 2 years, came back, wasn't really the city for me, kind of decided to start cocktailing at the time, figure out my next move, what I wanted to go back to college and major in, and 10 years later, I still haven't figured it out. So I eventually became a bartender. I liked that part of it a little better than cocktailing. It fit my personality better. So
Did you go to school?
I went to the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in Los Angeles. It's kind of the running joke is I have a, degree in fashion. That's why I'm a bartender. Thanks for the education, Mom.
Yeah. But I mean, did you have to go to bartending school to?
No. I don't know if you know a whole lot about how the different properties out here work. We have union properties and non-union properties. If you're a part of the bartending or the culinary union, in order to become a union bartender, you have to go through schooling, take a test with the union, and then you have your union certificate where you can get union jobs. If you don't have that union certificate, you can't work in a union property. You can get grandfathered in. There's different weird stipulations to all of it, but I don't have a union card as of yet.
Yeah.
I'm hopefully signing up next week to start the class and start the process. I kind of rebelled against it a long time. It just didn't seem like the right fit for me, and there's a lot of properties in town, less now, but 10 years ago there were a lot of properties in town that were non-union, and they seemed a better fit because I was younger, and it's all about seniority in union properties and working your way up, and I wanted to make money now, so I wanted to go somewhere where I was going to make money now. But
So the place where you're at now is a non-union property, which is surprising because it is a very well-known, huge property.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
There's, my property is non-union. All of the station casinos, which is more of a local casino chain that also caters obviously to tourists, but they're all for the most part off strip. That's all non-union. They're very proud of being non-union too. It's
like out in Red Rock.
Yeah. Within the last few years, a lot of properties have gone union. The nightclubs have all started going union because they sit in union properties.
Yeah.
So in order to get one of those jobs, I'm going to have a union card. I've had a couple opportunities when bigger nightclubs in town opened. I had different bartenders or managers that have worked with me in the past call and offer me jobs, not knowing I didn't have a union card, and I had to turn them down because I can't work there. So
it is one of those things that you do want to get because the opportunities are better when you have it.
Right. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah. And is it expensive to get?
If you are already a member of the union, meaning if you're cocktailing or bar backing, that's your kind of foot in the door.
Yeah.
So you're guaranteed a spot in the class, and I want to say it's like $60 to take this class. If you're not a member of the union already, you have to kind of wait in line. I'm not 100% on how it works because I haven't tried it, but I've heard of stories of people having to park in the parking lot overnight and wait in line because they're that coveted spots, and it's based like first come, first serve, and it's still $600, I think, to register if you're not in the union.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Is bartending that coveted of a job? Because, just quickly, like I'm not getting into too much detail, is there a hierarchy as to what the coveted jobs are here? And where would bartending fit into that?
It depends on where you're at, because there's so many different levels of bartending out here. It's, if you're in a little local gaming bar, you can make amazing money because you have your gamers and your players that are going to take good care of you. You get to know them, get a rapport.
Yeah.
If you're in one of the bigger nightclubs, obviously they're going to be busy all night long, so you're going to make tips there.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends on where you're at, but obviously the bottle servers are kind of where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, just there's a whole lot expected of you in any job in Vegas as far as your looks go and maintaining the right image for that club or for that property.
That's everything. You know, that's Abercrombie and Fitch.
Very true. Very true.
That's
you
everything.
can almost tell like who the hiring. And every nightclub has like their own kind of look. If you look around at the bottle servers, you can tell who the hiring manager is into.
Okay.
You'll go in certain clubs and there's all Latinas, or you know, there's all Asian girls, or there's a bunch of little white girls with blonde hair, and it's like, I can see what he's into.
Is it what the hiring manager is into, or is it what type of clientele they're trying to attract?
Maybe, I don't know. To me, it would seem smart to hire a cross section of everybody because everybody's into something different. But
yeah, it
I
is
don't know.
interesting though, because I was at Planet Hollywood during Chinese New Year, and I was just sitting there playing, and I was like just casually looking around the casino. I was like, everywhere, just Asian women dealing. Finally said to my dealer, I said, "What's going on with the?
right.
Why is everybody Asian?" And she's like, "Oh, it just must be one of those things, haha." And I just got, "No, seriously, what's going on?" She's like, "Chinese New Year."
Right.
So the whole mixology thing, that's one of the things that is kind of taken over the strip over the last few years.
Right.
Is it annoying, or is it? Because I'll give you my opinion first before you.
Yeah, please do.
I'm giving you cover is basically it. I think drinks are drinks. You can have a good yummy drink, and that's fine. When you start getting into lemon zest essence,
Right.
and like that's just a show. You're paying an extra $5-10 for a show, which I would rather not pay for. I just want the alcohol and I want a drink. But that's me.
I feel like that's the average person, though. If you want that mixology experience, I feel like there are definitely places that cater to that are amazing at what they do. There's a few bars out here that I know if I want to go have some crazy cocktail that's handcrafted by some very hipster man in a mustache, that I know where to go to get that.
Yeah.
If I'm in a casino bar and it's busy and I just want a drink,
Yeah.
it's annoying to have the bartender having to muddle 16 mojitos before he can get to me in a high volume environment. I think it's one of those trendy things right now that's, you know, like a decade ago, everyone was trying to get on that flair train with the flair bartending, and they were trying to put flair bartenders everywhere.
I don't know what that is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Carnival Court's around the corner. We can go after.
What is flair bartending?
It's when they juggle the bottles and balance it on their
Okay,
head,
yeah.
and you know, Tom Cruise in Cocktail.
Gotcha. Okay, can you do that?
No. I'm a girl bartender. It doesn't matter what I'm juggling. They're staring at my chest the whole time. It's one of those fads, though. You know, that was the cool thing a few years back, and that was also frustrating because when I'm working on a bar where I'm trying to get to everybody quickly and make sure that they get their drinks in a timely manner, and I've got some guy next to me juggling.
Good point.
It's a little
Good point.
frustrating, but it's kind of the same thing with mixology. I feel like it's kind of almost burning out. People go into these mixology bars, they order, you know, some fancy $16 martini that takes 10 minutes to make, take a picture for their Instagram, and they sip on it for a while, and then they ultimately go back to drinking Jack and Coke or, you know, vodka 7 or whatever they normally drink.
Yeah. Going to Jack and Coke that's an interesting segue. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit.
Okay.
Because I have a friend of mine who made fun of me in the nicest way possible, because I'm a rum and Coke guy. That's just always been my drink since college. You go with what you know.
Right.
But then finally I was saying, you know, I think I wanted to find a good scotch. I'm a 40-something-year-old guy. I'm like, it's time for a good scotch. He's like, good, It's about time for you to man up. He said, no more of those no sugar kid drinks, right?
Rum and Coke's not too kiddie.
Yeah. But you're a bartender, is there a drink that every guy should, like, are there 3 drinks that every guy should know how to order?
You know, everyone has to learn somewhere. I hate the snobbery that comes along with some bartenders where they kind of shame people for asking questions because, you know, at some point none of us knew what we know now, but, you know, you have to ask or research it. And most people's form of research is going to be to ask their bartenders. So if you want to try a scotch, ask the bartender what they feel a good recommendation would be for, you know, a starter scotch and something to ease you into it. And hopefully you get a bartender that knows a little bit and can kind of talk you through the process and find out what your tastes are and kind of guide you in the right direction.
I think what I'm looking for is wingman kind of stuff. Like, you're the bartender. You see guys coming up trying to hook up all the time.
Right.
Well, I'll get into more of that later because I would love to know if you have an epic fail that you've seen that you can talk about.
Oh God, there's tons.
You can talk about it. I'd love that.
Okay.
But to help those guys out, like, what would you say is like what should they order, or what would be a good drink to order a woman that he's like, hey, let me get you this is a great drink. Let me order a blah for you. What would that be?
I don't know. I feel like I can only speak for myself as far as women go because I don't want to piss off the wrong group because there's so many women out there that don't want a man to order for them. However, I love when a man can order as long as he executes it properly.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you know enough of her tastes, if she's a whiskey girl, I feel like she's going to be a good companion for the evening. She's going to be the ride or die chick that's going to be able to hang with you.
Yeah.
The high maintenance girls that want, foo-foo things. They want something sweet, but not too sweet.
I love this. I like how you're breaking it down as to who to order what.
Oh, believe me, every
That's solid.
bartender can judge you completely by what you're ordering.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. We can usually peg you before you get to the bar and have a vague idea of what you're going to order.
Wow. Okay.
Right now, the trend with bartenders is, everyone I know drinks a shot of Jameson when you get to the bar. I don't know what it is. I unfortunately can't do whiskey. I like to say I love whiskey, but whiskey doesn't love me back anymore.
My experience was when I went to college in San Diego. So when you're a freshman in San Diego, hey, let's run down to Tijuana.
Makes sense.
Where
Yes.
they do, someone orders you a shot and that you're sitting in your chair and they tip you back on the back two legs of your chair and they pry your mouth open and just pour tequila straight down your mouth and then do a little bit of lime, close your mouth, shake your head, and a guy is blowing a whistle the whole time.
Actually, there's a bar similar to that up the street if you want to relive your college youth.
I've never been the same since.
I was not a tequila person for a really long time. My parents are actually super into tequila.
Yeah.
And now I'm almost to the point of a tequila snob because my parents are such tequila snobs that I've only really been exposed to higher end stuff. So when I, go out and someone hands me Patron, I kind of turn my nose up. But if you put a nice 1942 in front of me, I'm going to sip on it all day.
Did that mess you up in terms of being a bartender? Now you're a snob with certain drinks and you can't get are your bar bills just ridiculously high now that because you only order the good stuff?
They can be. For the most part, I'm pretty simple when I go out. I drink a lot of beer a lot of times too. It just kind of depends on my mood. I'm not I don't have one drink that I stick to all the time. I have a little bit of everything. It kind of depends on the venue I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm not going to order something a little high end if I'm at, the Double Down or some little dive bar that I frequent. But if, I go out to a nice dinner, I'm going to order a nice scotch. I'm going to order a nicer tequila. So
we kind of touched on where you've seen guys fail as far as hookups. Guys just have no game.
Right.
Are there funny stories that you can tell about that, or you can't?
I can tell funny stories about that. With me or with...
Either or, because you're watching, that's the cool thing about being a bartender. You see everything go down, and you see, you see the guy walking, the approach,
right?
You see all of it, and it's a show for you.
Yeah.
If you're not busy.
It's definitely amusing at times.
It's do you try to be wingman? Do you help the guy out, or
Sometimes I just let them kind of stumble on their own. It's Vegas. A lot of people come out here to hook up.
Yeah.
They're on vacation. They want to have a vacation experience, and that's your prerogative. But
that's not a Vegas experience. That's everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. It sucks when you're a local because there's so many men out here that are just... I kind of try and remind myself I'm usually seeing most of the tourists are out here. They're on their worst behavior because they're in Vegas. They're drunk. They're on the strip. This isn't how they're going to act Tuesday back at home in Omaha.
Yeah.
So I try and remind myself of that that's not how they normally are. But it does get frustrating as a local when you're constantly being hit on by tourists at work, when you're just trying to do your job.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it's very flattering, but there's times when they definitely take it a step too far. They stick us in uniforms that are usually pretty revealing. Believe me, we don't want to wear them. If it were up to me, I'd bartend in sweats. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not coming here to hook up. I'm coming here to make money and have a good time and hopefully make sure you're having a good time. And it's nice when you're, being flattering, but when you're asking to motorboat me, I'm going to go with no.
I imagine that's not a winning move.
No, but you'd be surprised how often I hear it.
But let's flip it around. What are you doing, like, to get good tips?
Right.
Like, the outfit is the outfit because that's what they say you have to wear.
Right.
But one of the things that I do know that waitresses do is they'll touch you on the shoulder as they
Right.
bring it, because when you make that contact, it's been proven you're going to
Right.
get a little more. What do you do?
Me personally, I pull
Or people you know.
There's different styles, especially for women, because it's difficult. There's a lot of bartenders in this town that definitely flirt, and if that works for you, if you're comfortable with that, by all means,
Yeah.
use what you've got.
Yeah.
I am not comfortable flirting, just even in my personal life, I'm kind of awkward. So I kind of vibe more on being the funny bartender or being sarcastic and playful with people. I'm kind of one of the boys,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
That's
I mean,
well,
it works for
unfortunately.
me in my line of work, yes, but I'm definitely one of the boys. I joke around a lot, you know, we make fun of people a lot in a fun way. We want to make sure everyone's having a good time always, but,
Yeah.
you know, I'm definitely not the type to flirt or touch anyone over the bar. It's kind of why I got behind the bar instead of cocktailing is I'm generally, I want that 2 feet of space in between me and everybody at all times.
Yeah. How long did you cocktail?
Not long, actually. I got lucky and got hired on at one of the pools. And I cocktailed for maybe a year before one of the bartenders didn't show up to work. And my boss liked me at the time and went, "Hey, you're bartending today." And I was terrified.
Yeah.
But I hung in there and just...
And you have the book.
I didn't have a book. No, I didn't. I just I had a menu that had our specialty drinks, but other than that, for the most part, most people order, you know, Jack and Cokes or what have you, and that's simple enough. But the specialty cocktails were a little tricky, and I just...
There is a book, right?
There's
Right.
many books. The Bartender Black Book is one that I know a lot of bartenders use.
Yeah.
I have one somewhere. I couldn't tell you where it is.
It's
With
holding up a table.
Cell phones nowadays, I mean, you can just Google it if you don't
Yeah.
know it. But I remember to stay humble and ask questions. I think a lot of people get in over their head at some point in this industry, especially in Vegas, because I don't know, it is kind of a good old boy club in a lot of places where, you know, when I started where I'm at now, I was 24. There was only one other female bartender. She was a little older and worked graveyard. But I think a lot of the men that I was working with saw me as a threat almost. I mean, I think they were scared that they were going to hire on a lot of, you know, cute girls to stand behind the bar that didn't know what they were doing. And it took me a while to kind of prove that I did know what I was doing. And later on, they all came back and kind of apologized. And
Well, to be blunt, and this is from a dealer that I was talking with, women get tipped better than men.
they
And
can.
so
Generally, yes.
Generally-
I want to say yes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're attractive, and, you know, most guys are guys.
Right.
There aren't a lot of hot guys
Right.
dealing, a lot of hot guys bartending. A few.
Right.
But for the most part, women dealers are hot. Women bartenders, they're all hot. So they're going to get
Vegas,
tipped better.
If you're not hot, you're going to struggle in our industry, that's for sure. There's definitely a standard of beauty you have to maintain.
Which makes me wonder, where do the hot guys work aside from, like, you know, Thunder Down Under? And I mean, there got to be hot guys in Vegas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Where are
in
they working?
Nightclubs, they're all over. I guess I don't know. There's different types for everybody. A lot of the like muscly pretty boys work in nightclubs and day clubs, and
But that just dawned on me. I was like, hey, where are they?
right? Yeah. When you find them, let me know.
I mean, sometimes, like in Planet Hollywood, they got the dealers working in the pleasure pit who have
Right.
like the vest and the gun showing. And
It's definitely a very visual city. I mean, it's weird. The standards out here are they're very similar to LA, where it's common for women to submit a headshot with a resume for a bartending or cocktail job anymore.
here in Vegas.
Yes.
Really?
I know a lot of waitresses that have a headshot with their resume printed on the back.
Wow, that's a little much.
Right? Almost every waitress I know or bartender I know that's just starting in the industry in their early 20s or so has professional pictures done, usually in a bikini out at Red Rock. It's just the trend that's kind of happening, and when everyone else is starting to do it, you kind of feel the pressure to follow suit because that's what Vegas is evolving into. The one fun question I did get asked, I applied as a bartender in a music venue out here. she asked if there was one song that could be playing when I came in for my interview, what would it be?
And?
I said, Eye of the Tiger. Engaging off her reaction and the fact that I got the job.
That's awesome. That's a good
Apparently it was the right answer. That was a big stumper, though. It was kind of hard under pressure. I'm like, oh, because immediately your brain's like, don't say this song. So you're thinking of like Justin Bieber, like don't say Justin Bieber, like stuff I don't even listen to. I'm like,
My goofy ass mind went to the Benny Hill song.
right? See, something weird like that, because your brain does that. It's like, don't say this, but then it's all you can think about, and you're like, oh god, Eye of the Tiger came flying out, but apparently that won. So.
So our conversation continued for a little while longer, but in terms of edit point for the interview, that seemed like a pretty good place to edit it, where as far as the music was concerned. One thing that Amy brought up that I promised her that I would mention is a charity that she wanted to bring attention to called ICAN, which stands for Issues Concerning Adolescents of Nevada, ICAN. They're a nonprofit organization whose mission is to educate and empower young adults to be self-reliant. They're a proactive group, and they provide meetings, camps, conferences, and activities to youth, all in the effort to teach young adults about the dangers of substance abuse. They're kind of trying to head it off at the pass, as it were. If you would like to make a donation to their organization, we'll provide a link to their website in the show notes. But I can tell you the website. It's icanlv.org. It's icanlv.org. One more thing, if there are questions that you think that we forgot to ask Amy, or if there are things that you would like us to ask Amy the next time we talk to her, email us or leave us a voicemail and we'll ask her the next time we chat. Please keep in mind that she is using her real name and she can't answer any questions that might reflect poorly on the company that she works for. Our email address is hitme@facesandaceslv.com, and our voicemail number is 702-381-3657. We have multiple aces to cover, so let's just jump right in. Aaron, you took the most recent trip to Vegas. Is there anything you wanted to deem ace-worthy before we jump back in time and talk about the M Resort Spa and Casino? Because you did stay at the Wynn.
I stayed at the
Wynn Encore.
I stayed at the Encore.
How is the Encore different than the Wynn?
It's newer. It's a slightly different decor to it. It has a little bit of a different feel, but for the most part, it's just like the Wynn.
Do they share one pool area, or does each hotel have its own pool area?
There are two different pool areas.
And do you get to travel between the two, or are you limited
You have full reign to go to the Wynn and use their services. Everything is perfect there.
I mean, it's very easy to call them an ace just simply because for the amount that you pay, you're getting a 5-star experience.
Well, for the amount that one would typically pay, yes.
Right. Not the price that you paid because you have your secret, but
no, I have lots of secrets that I'll share with you throughout our podcast. But it's an obvious ace, but it's hard for me to look at that as something that's not very obvious.
Right. Was there somewhere that you ate during your trip out on the 4th that you would call an ace if you had to single one meal out that you had?
Well, I actually did room service because of the timing and because it was quite busy over the holiday.
Yeah.
So I did room service at the Encore, and it's phenomenal. They actually, I was able to order off menu, and they pretty much just said whatever you want. I asked them when breakfast was. I didn't see any hours on the menu. They said breakfast is whenever you want. And if there's something else on the menu that you would like that's not on there, let us know. So I tried to think of something that wasn't on the menu, and they were able to get me whatever I wanted.
Well, and what did you ask for?
Well, I ordered room service actually twice.
Yeah.
And one time I wanted a steak. I didn't say it needed to be from SW. I just told them exactly what I wanted. And they gave me a steak exactly like that, which was excellent.
Yeah.
And then I had another, like pizza pasta sort of thing with multiple combinations and
Different sauces for your pasta.
yeah, I'm always very difficult with
so
what
you
I
get
want.
a nice variety of flavors.
Yeah,
that
I wanted this and that, and they were like, "Well, I'll just bring you all of them on the side, and this one too that you didn't even know about."
That's a great ace. It's kind of like saying, "Oh, the airplane food was wonderful."
So there are experiences like that, and one thing I also want to point out: I always like to order extra pillows. Most hotels, if you ask for 2 pillows, they'll bring you the pillows and they'll have someone carrying the pillows and hand them to you at the door. But what the Wynn will do and what very high-end hotels will do is they'll bring you the pillows in a pillow bag so that they aren't touching it, which it's little touches like that you'll find staying at very high-end luxury properties that make the difference sometimes, just collectively and not having to deal with certain things. I didn't have any line at check-in. They do have some lines from time to time, but they're very good at managing it. They spend the money to overstaff so that the guest experience is there.
So what other aces did you come across on your visit?
I did find a very good gambling ace, if you will.
Oh, please share. I'm always interested
on this
in that.
trip. So I noticed that the table minimums were especially high this weekend, a holiday weekend, 4th of July. So I went to the New York, and they have $5 blackjack tables all day, every day. And by tables, I think it really just is a table, because I only saw one table that was $5 blackjack, and it was very busy.
Yeah.
But you can kind of push your way in, and once you get a seat, it's good. And $5 blackjack every day is pretty good.
Okay, so about 4 weeks back, you and I stopped by the M Resort Spa and Casino. It's an off-strip property known for its buffet, among other things. What did you think?
Pretty hotel. It reminded me a lot of Red Rock, the kind of the style of it. We went to the buffet there. Not too impressed. It was a good price, but the food wasn't as good as we typically would see in buffets. I don't know if we were there on an off day or
I think
what.
it was overhyped for me. I had heard such good things about their buffet. I was expecting more, maybe.
Yeah.
But for the price, $14.99 for a lunch buffet. Was it $14.99?
Yeah, it was $14.99. Not bad, but
I think it was supposed to be $20.99, but California residents get a $5 discount or something to that effect.
I think that's what it was too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I may have to go online, and this may be part of housekeeping next episode where we actually give the accurate prices.
We should give accurate
God
prices
forbid.
in our podcast.
God forbid we do any research before we start recording. So the M Resort, would you call it an ace?
I wouldn't, because it's far off the strip.
Yeah.
It's far off the strip, and
That's
the
an ace
buffet's
for me.
okay.
Okay.
I haven't been there, but I love
could be
Red
an
Rock.
ace. Yeah, it could be an ace depending on what you're looking for.
I like Red Rock, though, a lot more than this place.
I'm a one resort kind of girl where
Yeah.
if I can play my games,
Yeah.
I can play it at a good price, and I can eat, and I can relax, go to the spa, and be in one area the whole time. I like that.
I think you may actually love it, because I'll tell you this. Clean casino.
Okay, I like that.
Plenty of room at the tables.
Good. Is it lower minimums?
Lower minimum.
Like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
The food prices were decent, and from what and great amenities at the hotel as well.
Yeah, that's
But-
what I like.
But the price of the hotel, you're going to spend $200. I looked at the price; it was almost $250 for the M during that time.
Also, the rooms are always bigger at those kind of places.
Yeah.
They are.
Because we stayed at Red Rock, and that was amazing.
So
I like the room
and it's
a lot
not
there.
that far off the strip. It's maybe 10-minute drive
Yeah.
to the strip by
And that's
freeway.
that's a lot closer than Red Rock.
Yeah. Red Rock is a good half hour. So
If I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to go to the Strip. I'm not going to I'm
No.
not going to go to LA and then go to some
I will say
little
this,
place.
Aaron. For one of our trips, we're going to go back to Red Rock.
Ugh.
the last part of the show is a segment we call Tip the Player. This is where we ask Las Vegas locals to give useful tips to those of us who will be visiting their incredible city. In return, we give our listeners the gentle reminder to show your gratitude to the people who work hard to make sure you're having a great time. Kate is a spa manager at a Las Vegas hotel and casino. She was also my Airbnb host a few weeks back. We'll hear more from her in episode 5, where she'll share some of her experiences hosting complete strangers in her home. But here she gives a couple of good common sense tips about how to behave at a day spa in Las Vegas. After Kate's tip, Aaron and I will have a discussion about how he pays less for hotel rooms than I do, but he ends up staying at nicer hotels. I'll get him to reveal one of his money-saving secrets. What are some good pieces of advice
when
for
people
them?
are coming to Las Vegas?
Yeah. For example, and it could be as simple as if you're going to a spa, going to massage, take a shower before you get
Yes.
there.
Men put
Make sure you're presentable.
Absolutely. Men put on your boxers before getting a pedicure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a legit issue.
And I know I'm springing this on you, but do you have a few good solid pieces of advice that you could give to what would you like for them to do? What's
absolutely.
the message?
In the spa and salon industry, I would say definitely shower before getting your treatment. Yes. Mm-hmm. Like I said, men put on boxers before you get your pedicure. Mm-hmm. I think also something that's interesting is people will be really mean to the front desk. Your hourly staff that's helping you, your attendants, your front desk, they're just as important as your technicians. No, I guess I just would say, like, overall, like, when you come to Las Vegas, like, have fun, have lots of drinks, be safe, be good to the people here.
Yeah.
Of course, like, I would promote Airbnb.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be cheaper, sometimes not, depending on what kind of weekend, but you're definitely going to get more of a local feel. So it's going to give you a different perspective of the city. In addition to that, you don't have to walk through big casinos or smell smoke.
Well, thanks for hanging out.
No, absolutely. Thank you.
I really do appreciate you giving us your perspective about your city and this unique experience for me. Aaron, you have a special secret about how you stayed at the Four Seasons for A, cheaper than what was advertised, and B, cheaper than what I paid at Planet Hollywood. You got to stay at a 5-star resort for less than what I paid it for a 3.5-star resort. How did you do that?
Well, Chris, there are many ways to save money on your hotel room.
Well, Chris, let me tell you.
Four Seasons is not the hotel to discount. So you typically will find that they would rather have their rooms empty than sell them for cheap and devalue the service or the value of the property.
Yeah.
However, there are a couple ways to save money at certain hotel chains that don't typically offer discounts. I like to travel a lot last minute, and there are times when even really high-end hotels will sell their rooms to third-party travel sites, especially some of the less popular third-party travel sites that really don't give the Four Seasons that much cheaper publicity. You know, it kind of just quietly sells your room in the background. So there are a couple cheaper membership only, if you will, travel sites that you don't really have to make too much of a commitment. They just call it a membership travel site so they can keep the prices secret. Technically, when I clicked I agreed to not talk about the exact price that I saved, as to not, devalue the secret, if you will.
Okay.
Basically, all I did was sign in with my Facebook user, or I could create a new account, and there I had a membership, and I ended up paying $10 for access to this, website. They say when you book first, the first time you book, we'll add a $10 fee or whatever to cover your membership cost. And it's not a reoccurring thing. It was almost, I think, 60% off. I can't say the exact numbers, like I said. We're going to put the name of the travel.
Well, let's give it here. The reason why. Oh, well, you can't because of legal reasons.
And I can't say this 60% if I'm saying.
So legally you can't say, because
I can't say the exact amount that I paid, because technically when I clicked agree and sign up for an account, I'm agreeing to keep these secret prices secret. But
so we're not jerking people around.
Yeah, it's not really a gimmick to get you to, find out.
Yeah, because ultimately we would rather people listen to the podcast than go to the website. So just so you know, as a listener, we're not screwing with you, but there's a specific reason why we're sending you to the website to get this deal. We have no advertising on the website, so we're not really benefiting from sending you there. So this is just how it has to play out.
Yeah, and basically on our website, we're going to put basically 2 of my favorite discount travel sites that I put on there, and we're not getting paid by these companies or anything.
Well, not yet anyway.
Not yet anyway. We're open
we
to
hope
the
to
offer.
Someday, but
we'll put on our website these travel websites, and I frequently will look at these travel websites. They aren't always the best deal.
Yeah.
But you just have to check all the sites, and sometimes certain websites have a really good deal for 1 or 2 rooms that they've been given that they just need to sell. So I end up getting a really good deal. Sometimes when you look, you can get a good deal.
These are the 2 sites that Aaron likes to use. They will be in the show notes for episode 4. That's where you'll be able to find them. One of them you're pretty familiar with. The other one you may not be so familiar with. Is there anything else that they need to know when logging in? You did mention one of them is a membership that you have to pay money to join. And we're not affiliated with them in any way. Is there anything else they need to know about it?
It's basically just like booking through a normal travel website. They just tack on a $10 fee.
Just for the first one?
For the first, it's for a 1-year period where you can book through their website. And it's not like it charges you every year. It's like you can book anytime in a 1-year period and they won't charge you that $10 fee.
Right. So, I mean, just to summarize, to get the best price for a hotel, you do the comparison. You choose some of the more commercial websites and some of the lesser known websites. And you basically just compare prices and go with the one that's the cheapest.
Yeah.
The secret website that we keep talking about, it's not really a magic bullet. It's just another website that competitively prices hotels, and it may be cheaper than one that you're accustomed to using. It may not be, but either way, it's worth checking out. Thank you to Kate for providing some good common sense advice for our Tip the Player segment. You can find Kate's Airbnb profile in the show notes for episode 4. Also, thank you to Amy for giving us a little peek inside the world of a Las Vegas bartender. Amy's charity, once again, is called Issues Concerning Adolescents of Nevada, and they can be found at icanlv.org. We'll provide a link to that in the show notes. Coming up next time, we have our full interview with Kate. We'll ask her what it's like to be an Airbnb host in Las Vegas. We'll also have a special guest sitting in with us, Adam from the Vegas Fanboy podcast. We're going to help him celebrate his 1-year anniversary. And we thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe to us on iTunes, and please write us a kind 5-star review. You can reach out to us at contact@facesandaceslv.com. Our phone number is 702-381-3657. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Thank you to Katie and Aaron for hosting the show. And remember,
what happens in Vegas
ends up on the podcast.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.
Where is Aaron right now? No Aaron, huh?
Here.
Why didn't you answer me the first time I said it, huh?
Huh?
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
Son of a bitch! You done messed up, Aaron!
Go.